It's hard to tell with the Sacramento because the river gets muddier and then it clears up a little bit. It's never really clear, but it doesn't seem to affect the fishing. What's the latest there?
Well, it seems like the fishing's better higher in the river. You know, if you're down lower and it's muddy, you know, you can catch some pretty good bait fishing if you want. That's why you want to go. But when it comes to, you know, minnows and maybe even lures, you know, if you're not up high, you're not going to do very good.
Okay. So bait fishing close to the bank.
Yep.
Okay. Snipers everywhere, and a guy that's been chasing them all over is our friend Clyde Wands, the old timer. Good morning, Clyde.
Good morning, Bob. Yes, you're right. They're here, there, they're everywhere.
Yeah. It went from nothing to a whole lot in a hurry, didn't it, Clyde?
It sure did, Bob. We were both, Mark and myself and the other boats, were a little bit slow because the high tides at the beginning of the week, and we caught some nice fish. But at the end of the week, Thursday, Mark was out. He called me. He was down by the Antioch Bridge. A couple big schools of fish moved in again.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of what's happening. You'll get a day where it looks like it's slowing down a little, and here they come again. And last week, I marked some of the biggest schools of fish I've ever seen, kind of by accident where I found them. I was trolling over in the Old River Flats, and my 13 to 15 feet on the edge of the bar. Well, when I moved out, making a turn to about 20, 25 feet, I've seen a lot of fish. So we started running the lures a little more, back a little more, and we got fish. Every time through those schools, we were getting doubles. And that went on for about 2 hours. That was on the Old River Flats. A couple sea lions moved in, and then you witness where there's a fish one there.
Yeah.
Most of them small fish. I think they were spawning is why they were schooled up that, you know, like that. 2 days later, we had better fish, same area, you know, and those were, we got them up to 12 pounds, but we didn't see as many fish. And Mark said the same thing, and he was out there that day, a slow day, but now it's back up again. He's finding fish, and when he talked to me, he said the last, everything they caught was females. And the same with us for the last 2 days.
That's what he mentioned that to me too. So, we know that's an indication of, you know, we're getting into the back half of the run. That's for sure. But you know, I've seen it before where we get those schools of females in, and then boom, here comes a school of males and females together. So you never know.
No, you don't. And if you remember, Bob, the last time we had this high water, we were catching big fish up until July, through July.
Yeah.
And in the same areas. But I don't know when it's going to end. You know, every time you think it's slowing down, which those females are probably indicating it is a little bit. But here comes another school.
Yeah.
And I even caught a starry flounder the other day. And that's usually when you have salt in there. And that was just flooding out on a rattle trap. And I just got it out, and I said, man, I got some weeds on that already. Pulled it in, and a little starry flounder was on that. And
crazy.
Shallow and deep, just looking around for the fish. I haven't been up in one of my favorite spots this time of the year. That is up in the up in Steamboat. But I took a ride the other day, just looking at the river, and there was a Steamboat was clear, which the Sac was pretty dirty. And for some reason, Steamboat was pretty clear, and there was quite a few boats in the parking lot there. So I might give that a try next week.
I'll tell you, this dirty water, it's got everybody puzzled. Mark said the other day that, you know, the middle of the river was muddy and the west bank was clear. And, you know, that probably has to do with the last of the incoming tide. And then the week before, last of the outgoing, the water near Decker Island was clear, but the water in the west bank was muddy. So that's probably water coming out of the San Joaquin on low tide. So it's just crazy. It's hard to figure sometimes, but there always seems to be a place you can go fish, right, Clyde?
Oh, absolutely. You tell me how the Sacramento can be dirty and Steamboat clear. I mean, it's coming all through there.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's hard to figure out this year with that, the flow we're getting.
Yeah.
I think last week the early part was those big tides and coming down. And, I mean, our tides were so big Tuesday. When we launched, we had to wade out to our boats. I was in my boat, and Mark was in his, and he waded to his, and I got to ride in our boat, and the other guy put the boat in the water, and he done the wading. So, it was all high tides, and it slowed down a little, but by the end of the week, it picked right back up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for about 3 days next week, and we have better tides next week, so let's see what happens.
Okay, Clyde, I think I saw the tides were dropping off, so that's going to make at least some difference. And in this day and age, with the river the way it is, some difference could be a big difference to fishing. So Good luck. We'll talk to you next Saturday, Clyde.
Okay, Bob. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Clyde Wands, the old timer. Between he and Mark, they sure have a